Hey guys, okay, today, joy in the journey, really important component. Obviously, we've been talking about it all month. There's this concept called foreboding joy. Foreboding joy is just really about not allowing yourself to experience joy in long periods of time. It's been said that the most vulnerable emotion that we can have is joy. And here's why. There's part of our brain that says, hey, if you experience this much joy, you have to be careful because on the other side of joy is danger, or things are bad are going to happen, or there's something wrong that's around the corner. The other shoe is going to drop, right? There's something bad going to happen. So I need to be aware of that, and I need to be focused on that, and I can't be too joyful. I can't be too happy. The other part of it is that we have this sort of comfort zone or temperature gauge. One of the books that, oh my gosh, now I can't think of the name of it. It talks about the upper limit and upper limiting. Gay Hendricks. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm thinking about it. It'll come to me later. I promise. It'll come to me. Oh, The Big Leap. The Big Leap. He talks about the this temperature zone or this comfort zone that when we go too far up here, it feels uncomfortable. So when we get too happy, our brain says, hey, we got to come back down here. I'm comfortable in a certain amount of happiness. And we'll mess things up when we go to here. We'll mess things up and come back here. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby, right? Will Ferrell, the dad, they go into the Applebee's or I don't remember. Was it Applebee's or something like that? But TGI Fridays, I don't know, something like that. But they're in that restaurant and they're like, everything's so good, everything's so wonderful. And the dad starts to go, yeah, it's a little too good. Something, and he has to get in this massive fight with the waitress and get kicked out of Applebee's. And I think that's a lot of what we end up doing, right? It's when things start going too well, or things start going too good, or we start becoming too happy, that it becomes this really vulnerable place and we try to suck it back down and then go back to something that's not so great. It's like this. If I told you this, and some of you have heard me give this analogy before, but there's a family. There's a mother, father, a child, two children, and they're they're spending Christmas Eve at the grandparents'. All four of them are at one of their grandparents or one of their parents' house. And they're having Christmas Eve, this out in the middle of nowhere in this winter wonderland. It's beautiful, and they're having a great Christmas Eve. And before they know it, it's midnight. And it's like they got to get back to the city that's 45 minutes away, an hour away, and there's a storm outside. It's a massive blizzard. And the grandparents beg them to stay. Come on, please just stay the night. It's a blizzard, and it's a treacherous road at night. There's no snowplows that are out snowplowing the road. There's nothing, taking care of the roads. It's a difficult, challenging drive. I don't think it's a good idea. Just stay the night. And they're like, we got to get back to the city. We want to spend Christmas tomorrow in our own beds. And just, so they leave. And they leave that evening. It's midnight in the middle of nowhere in some country road, and they got to get back to the city. It's dark, it's pitch dark, and this massive snowstorm's happening. What happens? What happens as they go along this treacherous road at night that's not snowplowed? Now, if you said they got home and arrived, and the dad was a great driver, the mother was a great driver, and they arrived home and they woke up and had Christmas the next day. If you said that, you're right. But where did we go? Where did you go? Did you go to there's a wreck, there's a catastrophe, there's something bad happening? See, we're the safest we've ever been in the history of the world. Literally, 2018, the safest we've ever been. We've never been any safer. But as a society, we're 10 times more fearful and 10 times more worried than we've ever been. And it's because we get all this information, right? I mean, the fires in California right now, we got information about that. Up-to-date news about it. There's a shooting somewhere. We get information about it. I get an alert on my phone, a CNN alert, boom, it's up. It's like, here's this next thing, this next catastrophe. It's all around us all the time. And so we think we have to be worried about things. We think we have to forebode joy. I can't be really joyful. So this messes with our joy in the journey. And I would tell you, I want you to don't let your brain negotiate anymore around this, that you tell your brain, listen, we're going to find joy. We're going to find joy in this moment, and we're going to experience joy. And when we get too joyful, and I notice that we're getting too joyful, there's no such thing as too joyful. That I'm going to allow myself to experience joy at the fullest, outrageous, unapologetic place. Unapologetically, outrageously joyful. And allow that to play out, and allow that to show up, and allow that to be what it is, and not have anything else. That's the space. I want you to get into that place and notice when you start to forebode it, or you start to worry, or you start to wait for the other shoe to drop. And I want you to know it's just brain. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It means it's brain. And I want you to find the place inside of you to tell brain, I need you to stay happy. No matter what is happening, make a decision. Make a decision to no longer forebode joy. And if you do forebode joy, don't go into self-judgment about it. Just go, hey, I know what it is now. It's the most vulnerable place to be because I'm always going to be worried about what's over here. So if I stay worried about it, I'll be alert and recognize what's happening. But the truth is you're just not experiencing joy. And then you end up living in regret. So listen is a concept most of us are struggling with, most of us deal with. Don't go into self-judgment about it. You're not bad, you're not wrong, it's brain. Have fun directing brain. Remember, success is a conscious choice. So is being happy, so is finding joy. Enjoy yourself.